Fresh out of school, I would have told you something to the effect of relays are antiquated and no longer really used in any meaningful capacity for modern devices, technology, techniques. I would have been wrong, but it's what I would have said regardless. Hello, welcome to Chaos and Controls, a show where we talk about modern devices, technology, and techniques for automating your home, business, or life. I'm your host, the Automation Doctor. Today, I thought we could go ahead and talk about relays and their place in the world even today. Let's start off by talking about what even is a relay, and honestly, you've probably come across them before even if you didn't recognize them as a relay. The most common place that I can think of is in your car when you go to roll up the windows often enough, when you go to move down or up. Anytime you go to move the window and you engage the button, you'll hear a little bit of a click. And what that click is doing is you're not running the power that drives the window up and down through the switch that your hand is on. You're actually using control power, which is considerably less current, to engage the high amp motor that is driving that window. And so the click that you're hearing is an electromechanical device, a relay, taking control power and input from the user and delivering actual power to the device in the field. As you can probably guess, there are multiple kinds of relays, but they all boil down to the same basic components. You have an energizable coil with a little lever that has a magnet that when you energize the coil, you can direct the flow of electricity from one side of the relay to the other. And so when I don't have an energized coil, there's a little spring-loaded mechanism that is on that lever, and whichever way the electricity is going, that is said to be normally closed, because the lever is closed down on that side. The opposite side that's not seeing connectivity is said to be normally open. When I energize that coil, the electromagnet will snap up on the magnet on the lever and will direct to the other side. So now my normally open side sees connectivity through the other side of the relay, and we can effectively use this as a switch. And now you may be asking yourself, but Doc, why don't we just, put in a switch? And the answer is, well, we're trying to automate things. So if we've got a human that can run around and hit all the switches all day at the right time and everything else, that's great. But short of having that, using a relay, we can use considerably less current. We can use control power that subsequently can also run to a brain box like a PLC or an Arduino or an ESP32. And now we can use the brain box to energize the coil. And now we have a computer that is controlling actual power going to a field device. Maybe it's a light, maybe it's a motor, maybe it's a burglar alarm, maybe it's your toaster, could be anything. But the PLC is now capable of doing that action. As an added bonus, if something really terrible were to happen, like lightning were to strike my light bulb or my toaster, or it were to accidentally take a bath with me, then I'm not going to accidentally fry my brain box, because now we have isolated the power side of the house from the control power side of the house, and so it acts as an additional layer of protection. So, if we were to wrap this all up into a single project that you could try on something like a house, I could take something like an Arduino and find a relay that the Arduino is capable of energizing and that on the power side is capable of handling 120 volts. I could then use some sort of an input, maybe a PIR sensor, and I could intercept the power side of a light and put that relay in series with it. And I could use the input from the PIR or whatever going back to the Arduino, and when we see the input come on, we use the Arduino to now drive that relay and turn on our light. Now, I admit that's a pretty simple use case, and you're probably not going to get much mileage out of that, particularly when we already have devices that have a PIR sensor that you can replace your light switch and achieve the same thing. But consider now if you put a PIR sensor in all of the rooms and intercepted all of the lights, And then you had a method to turn on or off your air conditioner, which subsequently most wall units you'll also hear a click when you are engaging the fan or the compressor or the heat. And we can intercept that and now drive it based on whether a house has occupancy or not, turn the lights on based on occupancy. Then we can start doing things like, well, if we don't have occupancy and nobody's supposed to be there, now we've detected motion, and now I should send a text message out to whoever and say, hey, there might be an intruder in here. And so the more things that you start to put in on your system together that are all under a single brain box of some sort, the more they really start to synergize, and things that you didn't think were potentially possible before start becoming easier. My HVAC system is a part of my security system, is a part of my lighting system, is a part of my overall well-being. In any case, it's a little bit of a preview of some of the projects I'm hoping we can do in the future. That's about all I have for you today. You all have a good one. We'll catch you next time.